Congratulations, Balbir, on setting up yet another first of its kind in India. EV is definitely becoming the craze more and more so, and what you've done is given consumers, as I understand, an opportunity to combine the charging process and not have to have a variety of apps, but put it all into one place on the Audi app called Charge My Audi today.
Yeah.
Was this because of feedback from consumers, or is it one of the conveniences that you hope to draw more consumers into the EV fold?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me on your channel. So when we launched for the first time in 2021 the electric cars, we did many firsts. In terms of this app was also available at that time, but it was limited to you can find the nearby charging points. We also did 5 years of warranty on the cars. We did a lot of studies before we launched the cars, but there are things which only evolve over a period of time. So what we were doing, we were speaking to each of our customers. In fact, I also spoke to some of the customers, my HOD spoke, so we were speaking to the first set of customers and we continue to do so. The feedback that we were receiving was that the confidence level of driving within intercity was a little bit shaky, and many of our customers were not using EV as their primary car.
Correct.
So it was a car which was a second car. So within city there was no challenge because the cars have a range of 400 kilometers, and in a day you don't drive that much in a city. But when it comes to driving a destination or intercity, it was a challenge. This was one feedback that we got. The second was that of course there are chargers now across the country on the highways, but you don't know if the charger is working or not working.
Correct.
And last but not the least, for each CPO charging point operators, you had to download an app. So that was another challenge. It's not just that you have to fill the money in that app for that CPO, but also you're exposing your data. Correct. Every time you're downloading an information. So these are the challenges. So we have been working for last many months, I can say almost like 1 year, to develop this app, and finally we launched this today. So the purpose is that all these problem statement which were actually given to us by the customers, this is something which we have not done out of thin air, we have not done on our own. We have just taken the feedback and just tried to find a common solution for all the customers. And we're really happy that with 5 CPOs we are able to do this immediately. And this app also gives us an opportunity. It is scalable, so we are also talking to more.
Correct.
Today we have 750 charging points which are available. We will add more, and these are high speed charging points which ranges between 30 to 120 kilowatts, and you don't need to download any more apps. If you have My Audi app, you're sorted.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
So just to let the viewers know that now Audi owners just need to have the My Audi app, which will allow you access to around 5 at this point, as I understand, different charging vendors. And so you don't have to load up different variety of apps. All 5 of them can be used via just that one Audi app. Absolutely. And as I understand, for the first few months, it's free service as well for the customers. And then there's a small fee that they have to pay and keep reloading the money on the app.
So it's actually what we intend to do is I want all our customers to try out.
Okay.
Try out moving around. So that's why we're trying that the charging is complimentary for the first 3 months till August. The point is that the app is so detailed that wherever you are, if you open the app, it will give you the charges around you by seeing your GPS location. And when you click on any of the charges, it gives you how many charging points are there, and each of the charging point has what kilowatt it is, and how much the money is being charged per kilowatt hours on that charger. Also whether the charger is free, or is it occupied, or is it working or not working.
Correct.
So, and this is real time information, so you know where you are going for charging beforehand, that this charger is either working or not working, or it's free for me to charge. And once you're charging the car, and you can also see the live what the state of charge on your car is at that point in time, any point in time. And you can put on and off this charging through mobile app itself. So this gives that solution. And beyond that, let's say if you want to drive from Mumbai to Goa or Delhi to Udaipur, you can decide where you need to stop in between, and you can move.
Pre-plan the whole.
You can pre-plan the whole route. So all this is being done through this app.
Yeah. So just understanding from you, what you have said means consumers basically use a lot of their home chargers, home or office.
Yeah.
And they're hesitant to use external chargers because they're not sure of the services, and this hopes to just streamline that and bring more users to get used to actually taking their EVs long distance.
Absolutely. So at the end of the day, the segment that we represent, our customers want to be really sure wherever they're going that they're not hassled.
Correct.
So I think this is kind of a let's say innovation or aggregation that we are able to do is sorting that problem, so that they're more and more confident that eventually, the electrification in India will happen when everybody participates. So everybody is doing a bit.
Correct.
Not only this, that we already have 100 plus chargers that we've installed across the country at our dealership, our group dealership, which are AC and DC chargers. We've covered 65 cities, but that's not enough. This is the next step. Maybe tomorrow we do something else. So we need to basically, eventually, if the electric mobility has to become successful, I think everybody has to contribute, and this is just one bit of it.
Absolutely. You've also, you said that you're taking steps in the direction. You've also set up, I think, the first of its kind battery repair facilities now across is it 4 cities or 4 different points in a city? I still haven't understood that completely.
So, part of the whole ecosystem also has to be to support if in case of a battery that needs a repair. So we've set up 4 first of it, let's say first in the industry, battery repair centers. 2 of them are in Delhi NCR, one in Delhi South and one in Gurgaon, and then one in Thane in Mumbai, and then one in Pune. And we are working on more. Obviously, this has 2 parts. One is highly trained manpower,
correct,
which can work on these batteries. They really need good training. But also an atmosphere which is air conditioned, which is no dust atmosphere and no humidity. So this is something which is also important as we sell more and more electric cars. I'm sure we will come across a situation where we need to repair them as well. So this is also an investment that we are doing to develop the infrastructure going forward.
Absolutely, and we'll come back to the number of sales of electric cars, but just going back to this charging that the app that you have. Apparently now, like computers have their own IP, EVs have their own address as well. And there are different vendors that are now, offering facilities where you just plug in the car. You don't even have to open the app, as long as maybe Audi is tied up with them or whoever's tied up with them. They will recognize it, and it will automatically charge whatever it's necessary to the app. So are you looking at expanding in that area further, and could that also be another way in the future? So it's even easier than actually opening an app.
So obviously this needs more work, and what we have been able to achieve so far is that you just need to put the gun in your car, and rest you have to do on your mobile.
Correct.
But as we evolve, because there are multiple partners involved, so sometimes it's not that easy. But I think innovation is never ending. I'm sure in some point in time we will reach something even beyond this.
Yeah.
So we continue to evolve.
What's the challenge? Because we go to a fuel pump, we use a credit card, we pay.
Yeah.
So why is it so complex, and what's the challenge with charging? And do you think that this will improve?
So like I mentioned before, one is that the payment system is not integrated overall. Everybody wants their own payment backend. So this is something which we try to integrate. It's as easy as anything. Going forward, potentially it could be you prepay or you pay on the spot. All those possibilities will exist, and we have worked towards it, and I think that this is what we've been able to simplify it. It's not that complicated. It's just that there are multiple charging point operators. Yeah. And the back end of the payment for everybody is different. That's the only complication. And of course you have to download the app, all those things you have to do, which we have sorted it out for our customers.
Yeah. Okay, so Audi had a great year last year. You saw a lot of growth, I think around 4,800 and something units that you sold. Was there a drastic increase in the amount of EVs? Did you see a lot more EVs being sold?
So let's say approximately 4,200 cars we sold last year, and the number of EVs definitely were higher than the year before, but also from the fact that we launched only in the mid of the year. Correct. 2021. So we have grown, but EVs still remain to be around 2 to 3% of our volumes till last year. I'm sure this will grow, and we will see more EVs also coming from Audi's portfolio in the coming months and years. I think we are, as of now, operating in a very limited segment. Most of our cars are 1 crore 10 lakhs, 1 crore 20 lakhs and above. Correct. So we are representing only a limited segment. The growth will also come when we represent more segments. And this obviously is a matter of time. Globally, you know that we will be launching many new
Correct.
electric cars, and some of them will definitely make to India. And this is what we are working upon. Of course, the related question is, when do you make these cars in India? It's always a question of, for me, the question is when, not if. Mm-hmm. So it is a matter of time. We are working with headquarters to see which model is the most suitable for India and at what point in time. So I think globally we are moving towards electrification, and India will also play a strong role in this.
Yeah. We've also seen a lot of manufacturers roll back statements of being completely EV. We've seen countries roll back saying, okay, these are our EV complete deadlines, and people have realized that now ICE still has a longer part to play, maybe in the form of hybrid. So will we see Audi step into that domain as well, and would we see more hybrids in the country, because we're already seeing them, and I think we've seen some manufacturers democratize them as well now.
So as a strategy, our focus is very clear on electrification. So we are moving in that direction very strongly. Of course, in our global portfolio, we also have plug-in hybrid, and we already in India have mild hybrids. But of course, what you're talking about is a pure hybrid cars. At this point in time, for India, we are very clear that it is ICE straight to electric cars.
Okay. And
globally also, I think the focus is a lot on the electric mobility. I think it is important. You also know that from 2020, when we moved from BS4 to BS6, we moved from diesel plus petrol strategy to petrol and electric strategy.
Correct.
I think it was also a bold decision, because luxury segment still was 70-80% diesel cars. So we have moved strongly. A lot of apprehensions that we have broken our own thought process, that can we be or will we be successful. We are, in the first quarter we also grew by 126%. So
correct.
Growth is happening as we have more and more cars and more models available. I think it's a matter of what story you are able to tell your customers, and we are able to tell this story, and customers are believing, and I'm sure this will become stronger. So at the end of the day, we are clear that we will move towards electrification. Hybrid is not something that we're looking for India. So that's our story.
Yeah. So what's the story for 2023? Because we're just at the beginning of it, and what's to come from Audi?
So in terms of let's say the focus for us is customer centricity. So like what we have announced today is purely keeping in mind the ease for running the electric cars. We already announced that we shall be launching another electric model in the second half of this year, so which we are anticipating will be another big positive story for us. Also, the growth story is one of the strong story that we have. Our growth is in terms of numbers is not just for the new cars, but also a pre-owned cars business, that we have made our business very, very strong. A couple of years back, just two years back, we just had 7 showrooms of pre-owned car business. Today we have 24 showrooms, which we are also expanding further. So not only that we grew 126% in first quarter on the new cars, but we also grew 50% on the pre-owned cars business. So we are trying to set up new businesses where we are going firstly for the workshop, followed by Audi Approved Plus pre-owned business, followed by new car showroom. So I think this is what we are following as a story for our customers. And first quarter we sold almost 60% SUVs, and Q models are our strength
correct.
areas all this while, and this is something which we are really proud of. And we did a very unique experience. Firstly, with e-tron, we got the Sportback model before, and we just started to make the Q3s in India this month itself, and we are also making Q3 Sportback in India.
Correct.
So this experiment really did well in EVs, so we have taken it forward also on the Q3, and I'm really happy to share that the response that we've got on the Q3 Sportback is amazing. We are also surprised. Customers are surprising us every time.
Yeah.
And that's the story for us this year.
So is that also inspiration to now bring probably the E variants lower down the range? Like you said, that we have to bring them lower down the range, that so far it's only been in a high price point. So will this year be the year that we see some?
I think what we're going to launch the second half of this year will still be on a higher range, but we are working on some more products going forward. As they are launched globally, some of them will make into India. May not be this year, maybe in the next year or the years that are coming by.
Thank you so much for spending time with us, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.